So I have been getting many requests to provide NIELIT previous year question detailed solution. So here I am making video about it. So in this particular video, we will see the solution of NIELIT Scientist B 2017 question paper. So in the question paper, there are the two sections. One was general aptitude and another was technical part. So we are starting with technical part first, and it is starting from question number 61. So question number 61 is what is another name for one shot multivibrator? So four options we were given: monostable, astable, bistable and none of the above. So for monostable, we know it has one stable state, and for astable it has no stable state, and for bistable it has two stable state. Okay, so for monostable it has one stable state and it also has a quasi stable state. Okay, so question is for one shot multivibrator. So one shot means it has to be one stable state, so that is monostable. So correct option is monostable. So this was the theoretical question from analog circuit multivibrator topic. So question number 62 is what is one disadvantage of SR flip flop? So if you make a truth table of SR flip flop, we have input S and R and output, let us say next state we have Q and plus 1. So if you give input 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, so for 0 0 you get same input same output, so it is memory. So for 0 1 output 0, for 1 0 it is 1, and for 1 1 it is invalid output, and that is also called race condition. Okay, and that is the only disadvantage of this SR flip flop. So this is called race condition, and the option we are given B option as a race condition. So this is the disadvantage for SR flip flop. Now let us see question number 63. So question number 63 is in the 2's complement system, add the signed number. These two numbers are in 2's complement signed number and we have to add them. So before adding them, let's find out these numbers first. So let's call first number is A, and A we are given 1 1 1 1, then 0 0 1 0. Okay, so these are the signed number. Then first bit has to be signed bit and all the remaining bits has to be magnitude bits. So since sign bit is 1, so this number has to be negative and the magnitude we will calculate. So since it is in 2's complement, we will take its 2's complement again and we will find out the original number. So let's find out its 2's complement. So 0 1, after first one all the bits will be complemented, then it will become 1 1 0 0 0. Okay, so this will become minus and 1 1 1 0, it is 14. So A we found as minus 14. Similarly, we can find out what is number B. So we in the signed magnitude 2's complement we are given 1 1 1 1, then 0 0 1 1. Okay, so again first bit is 1, so this is signed bit and the number has to be negative, and these all the remaining bits will tell the magnitude and will take its 2's complement. So 1, after that all the bits will be complemented, then this will be 0 1 1 and 0 0 0. Okay, so this number will become negative 1 1 0 1, it means it is 13. Okay, so B also we found 13 and we have to add these two. So A plus B we will find minus 14 and minus 13, so it will become minus 27. So correct option is minus 14, minus 13 and minus 27. So this was about solution of question number 63. Now let us see question number 64. So question number 64 is a 4-bit R2R DAC. So digital to analog converter we are given and number of bits we are given are 4. Has a reference voltage 5. So V reference voltage we are given 5 volt. What is the analog output of input code 0101? So input we are given, that is digital input we are given, it is 0101. We know for DAC analog output equals to resolution into decimal equivalent of input. Okay, so resolution is V reference divided by 2 to the power n minus 1 into decimal equivalent of this is 0101 means 5, and V reference we are given 5 divided by 2 to the power 4 minus 1 is 15 into 5, so this will become 3, it will be 5 by 3. Okay, so this will come 1.67. Okay, and if you check out, no option is 1.67 and none of the above, D option is correct. Okay, now let us go to next question, and next question we have is question number 65. So in the question number 65, we are asked, in the circuit shown below, switch S is open for a long time. This switch is open for a long time and is closed at t equals to 0. The value of current IT when t tending to infinity. So IT means the current flowing in this inductor, and we have to find that current in the inductor at t equals to infinity. So let's directly make the circuit at t equals to infinity. Then what will happen? This 1.5 ampere current source is connected, and this 10 ohm resistor is connected, then this 10 ohm resistor, then another 10 ohm, and this inductor. See, this 1.5 ampere will keep on connecting with this inductor for a long time, and at t equals to infinity this inductor will be fully charged, and at a steady state this inductor will be shorted. Okay, so let's make this inductor short circuit, and the current is flowing, let's call it IL infinity at t equals to infinity. Okay, so this is 10, after that the switch will be closed, and another 10 ohm resistor is connected. So this is the complete circuit at t equals to infinity. Now this is a delta connection, let's apply here delta to star conversion. So what you will get, 1.5 ampere current source is connected there, then you will get it as 10 by 3, because all the 10 resistors are there in this delta circuit. Okay, so this is 10 by 3. Okay, this will be something like this is say 10 by 3, and then this is again 10 by 3, this is 10, this current is I infinity. Okay, and this is also 10 by 3, like this we will have equivalent circuit. Okay, so and we have to find out this current. So this 10 by 3 and this 10 by 3 and this 10 are in series, and current, total current is coming 1.5 ampere, and we have to find this branch current. So let's apply current division rule in parallel branches. So this resistors 10 by 3 divided by total resistance, that is 10 by 3 plus 10 by 3 plus 10 into total current, that is 1.5 ampere. Okay, so what we will get, let's write here, it will be 10 by 3, this will be 10 and 20 by 3, and 20 plus 3 10s are 30 by 3 into total current is 1.5. So 3 will cancel out, and 10 by 50, this will be 1.5. So 1.5 by this will be 5, and this is going to be 0.3 ampere. Okay, so answer is 0.3 ampere, and correct option with this we will have C option. Okay, so this was for question number 65. Now let's go to question number 66. Okay, so let us solve question number 66. This question is from control system topic, and the question is, consider a unity feedback control system with open loop transfer function. So question number 66, open loop transfer function, GS we are given K by S, S plus 1, and the steady state error for the system due to unit step input. Okay, see, a type of this OLTF is 1. Okay, and type of the input is unit step, so type of input will be what, 0. So if type of system is greater than type of input, then steady state error is 0. You should know it, or you can go by method. Steady state error for unit step is 1 by 1 plus Kp. Okay, so Kp you write, that is limit S tending to 0 GS. Okay, so let's find out Kp. Kp is going to be limit S tending to 0, and GS you have K by S into S plus 1. If you put S equals to 0, Kp you will get infinity. and put Kp value here, then you will find ESS is 1 by 1 plus infinity, that is 1 by infinity means 0. So directly with this shortcut you could answer this question, that is steady state error is 0. So this was question number 66. Now let us move to the next questions. So we will start with question number 68. Okay. So question number 68 we have is from network. See, I am not solving this question number 67 because it is from numerical method topic and it is not in GATE syllabus. So I want to be dealing with this. So let's start with question number 68. This is simple question. So what we are given, for alpha equals to minus 1, the value of V2. Okay. So for alpha equals to minus 1, let's make this circuit. So this is question number 68. So this is V1 and resistor is connected R1 and the current in this is I1. Again we have a resistor R2 and current in this branch is I2. Okay, and this current source we are given an alpha we have to put minus 1, so it will become minus I1 and then we have to find this V2. So what we are asked, value of V2. So V2 is what? This is open circuit voltage. Okay. So this voltage V2 here, so V2 will also be here. So let us apply KCL at this V2. So apply KCL at node V2, that is at this node. Okay. So incoming current is I1 plus one incoming current is this, that is minus I1. So minus I1 equals to outgoing current is I2. So this will cancel out, then I2 will be what? 0, and we have to find out V2. So V2 is what? From this we can write V2 equals to I2 into R2. So V2 is I2 into R2 and I2 is 0. So 0 into R2 is going to be 0. So V2 is 0 volt. So B option will be correct for question number 68. Now let us go to question number 69. This is from analog circuit. Question is analog circuit shown below uses a silicon transistor. Okay. The capacitor CC and CE can be assumed to be short at signal frequency and effect of output resistance R0 can be ignored. If CE is disconnected from the circuit, okay, if CE is disconnected from the circuit, then then which one of the following statement is true? Okay. So if CE is disconnected, so without, okay, let us find with first with CE. So if CE is connected, so with CE, if you see this circuit, what this circuit will be? So for AC analysis, what will happen? This will be shorted, okay, because this current will be bypassed with this capacitor, and this capacitor are shorted. We will take output from here, and this will be RC, and for AC analysis this will be grounded. Okay, and this is also grounded RB because this is connected to VC, and for AC this will be 0. So this is capacitor, again this CC will be shorted, and supply or input Vs is connected there. Okay, so this is how for AC analysis circuit will be. Now the input resistance Ri increases when is this condition? If CE is disconnected. So this is when with CE, and without CE, when there is no CE, then what the circuit will be? Circuit will be Vs, then RB will be connected, this is grounded, and there is no CE this time, then this will not be bypassed, then RE will be present here. Okay, and this RC, and output is taken from collector. So this is V output and this is grounded for DC, for AC analysis. Okay, now let us see what question says is, the option 1 is the input resistance Ri increases and voltage gain AV decreases. So this Re actually acting as negative feedback. Okay, so when there is no negative feedback, there is certain gain. Let us find out that internal voltage gain is minus Gm into RL dash. In RL dash we have only RC because internal RO is neglected. question is saying to neglect RO. So this is going to be minus Gm into RC, this is internal voltage gain, and in this case this AV, that is internal voltage gain, is going to be minus Gm RC upon 1 plus Gm RE. So this is about internal voltage gain. And input impedance, if you see from here, okay, so Ri is going to be what, R pi, and if you check out from here, this is Ri dash, so Ri dash will be what, Rb, and in parallel with R pi. But in case when CE is not there, okay, then what Re will be, if I check from here. So how I am writing this Ri, I have already provided a video with the detailed analysis of the BJT AC analysis, and how you have to write Ri, ROA, internal voltage gain, current gain. So I will provide the link here, you can check out. So for this circuit Ri, how you will write? You will write R pi plus 1 plus beta into Re. Okay, so this is Ri, and from here if you see from here, that is Ri dash, or this is what, this is total input impedance. So Ri dash you can write, that is Rb parallel Ri. Now let us see what option says. The input resistance Ri increases. So in this case Ri is increases, yes, this is true, and voltage gain AV decreases. So yes, this is also true, because this Re is acting as a negative feedback, and you know in the negative feedback gain is reduced. So gain is reduced by factor of 1 plus GMRE. So yes, option A is correct. Next option, the input resistance Ri decreases. No, Ri is increased. So this is wrong. And both input resistance Ri and voltage gain decreases. No, this is wrong. Both input resistance Ri and voltage gain increases. No, Ri only increases, but voltage gain is decreases. So Ri increases and voltage gain decreases. So correct option with this, option A. Now let us go to next question. Question is question number 70. The value of x in the expression given below. So let us go to question number 70, is 2 base 3 plus 3 base 4. So let us see, this is very simple. So this is 2 base 3 plus 3 base 4. Okay, this is 3 base 4 plus, okay, not plus, this is equals to x base 5. So write 3 to the power 0 into 2 plus 4 to the power 0 into 3 equals to 5 to the power 0 into x. Okay, so this is going to be 3 to power 0 1, this is 2 plus 3 equals to x. So x is going to be 5. So correct option is A. Let us move to the next questions. Yeah, so question we will start from question number 71. So question number 71 is from control system. So again it is a simple question. The transfer function Cs by Rs in the block diagram shown below. So we have to find out this Cs by Rs transfer function. Okay, so to find it out, let us see, this is simple, let us solve it. This is R, okay, then this is also R, right, then this will become what, this will be G1 plus R, right, and you are adding R in this. So you have to find this, then you can write it from there, G1 plus R, okay, you are adding R in this, this is plus R, and then you are multiplying G2. So G1 plus R, here G1 plus R, then you are multiplying G2, and again you are adding what, you are adding R, okay, and then you are calling it what, C. So from this you have to find out C by R. Okay, so no, we made a mistake actually. Okay, let me do it. So here was R, G1 is multiplied, you got here R G1, okay, and R is coming from here, so you will be adding R G1 plus R. So this will become R G1 plus R, right, R G1 plus R, then G2 is multiplied, okay, and then R is added because G2 is multiplied, and then again R is added here, so plus R, and then you are calling it what, this is C, okay. So R, let's take common from here, then this will become what, G1 plus this is what, 1, and then G2 is multiplied plus 1 equals to C. So from this C by R, if you find, this will become what? G1 G2 plus G2 plus 1. So option is G1 G2 plus G2 plus 1. So C option is correct. Okay, so let us go to the next question. This was question number 71. Let us go to question number 72. Question number 72 is if the characteristics equation of a closed loop system. So characteristic equation we are given is s square plus 2s plus 2. Then the system is okay. So we have to comment on the system. Then we can compare this with the s square second order system equation, s square plus omega n square plus 2s zeta omega n. Okay, because for second order system we have a transfer function, that is k omega n square by s square plus omega n square plus 2s zeta omega n. Okay, this is Cs by Rs. This is closed loop transfer function. So we write it Gs upon 1 plus Gs. Okay, if nothing is given, then we will take it or negative feedback, unity negative feedback. So Gf into Hs. Okay, so this equation is what? This is nothing but a characteristic equation, and we are comparing the given characteristic equation with standard second order systems characteristic equation. Okay, so if you will compare, then you will find, so omega n square is what? 2, and 2 zeta omega n is again 2. Okay, so from this zeta omega n you will get 1, and zeta you will get 1 by omega n. So from this omega n is what? 1 by this is root 2. So omega n is root 2 and zeta will be 1 by root 2. This is 0.7. So if zeta is less than 1, then this is called what? This is called underdamped. Okay, so the system is underdamped. Why? Because zeta is less than 1. So correct option is C. Okay, so let us go to the next questions. Question number 73. Okay, so question number 73 is the following circuit can be represented as. Okay, so this is A, this is B, this is NOR gate. Okay, so this is going to be A plus B bar. Okay, and this is A dot A plus B bar. Let us find it out. So A dot A plus B bar, A plus B whole bar. So I can write it A into A bar into B bar. Okay, so A dot A bar, it will become 0. Okay, so this is going to be what? 0. Similarly, this B dot A bar B bar, A bar into B bar, again this is going to be 0. So this output is 0 and this output is also 0. So this is 0 and this is 0, right? So for this 0 input is this and this input is also 0. Let us find what is the middle one. So this is actually C and then this is coming 0, right? So this is 0 and this is also 0. Okay, so 0 plus 0 is 0 and 0 plus 0 plus C. So this is total is C. So here we are getting 0 bar, right? And then this is 0 and this is coming C. Actually this is C bar. Okay, so this is a 0 plus C bar and then this is a C bar and this is C. So C plus C bar is what? 1 and 1 complement you will get 0. Okay, so this is C bar plus 0 is C bar complement is what? This is going to be C. So C plus 0 is C and finally you will get C bar, right? So no option is matching with this, then correct option should be D. Okay, now let us go to next question, question number 74. Okay, so before that let's erase these solutions. Okay, so a two-port network is described by the relation V1 equals to this one and I2 is this one. Then Z parameter we have to find out. So Z parameter, you know, V1 equals to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2, okay, and then V2 equals to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2, right. Let us find out Z11, what it is, V1 by I1, and condition is when I2 equals to 0, okay. Let us put I2 equals to 0 here, then what you will get, I1 equals to 2V2. So condition you got I1 equals to 2V2 and V2 is going to be I1 by 2. Let us put, this is equation 1, let us say this is equation 2, put in equation 1. So if you put this in one equation, then V2 you will get, for V1 is 2I1, okay, plus 3, and V2 is I1 by 2, okay. So this is 2 2s are 4, 3, 7 by 2. So from this V1 by I1, that is Z11 is 7 by 2 is 3.5, okay. So A and C option will be wrong, okay, and 3.5 inverse it is taking, this also option will be wrong, so D option will be correct. You can check out other Z21, Z22, Z12 also, so you will find D option is correct. Now let us go to next question, it is question number 75. Question is, okay, so this question is having I think some problem. I will be dealing this question later and will update this its solution in the Telegram group, link is in description, you can check out, okay. So I'll update its solution later. Now let us go to the next question number 76, okay. So let us do the solution of question number 76, okay. So question number 76 is for a real value of x, okay. So x we are given real, the minimum value of function fx. So fx is question number 76, this is fx we are given e to the power x plus e to the power, okay. So e to the power x plus e to the power minus x, okay. We have to find out minimum value of this function. So for minimum and maximum we know we have to differentiate it and put 0. So let's differentiate it, this is e to the power x and this will become e to the power minus x, and let us put it 0. So this will be e to the power x minus 1 by e to the power x equals to 0. So e to the power 2x minus 1 equals to 0, e to the power 2x is 1, 2x is ln 1 is 0 and ln x is going to be 0, okay. So let us put f0. So what you will get, e to the power 0 1 plus e to the power 0 1 equals to 2. So we are not getting, okay. So if you differentiate it again, then f double dash x, what you will get, this is e to the power x plus e to the power minus x, okay. So this if you put anything, okay, then f double dash x will be what, greater than 0. If f double dash x is greater than 0, it means that at x equals to 0, it will get what, minimum, and then minimum value at x equals to 0 is 2. So minimum value is 2. So correct option is 2. So or you can check out this by graph, okay. So if you plot at x equals to infinity, you put this is going to be infinity and this is going to be 0. So at x equals to infinity you will get infinity, like this plot will be going. At x equals to minus infinity also you will be getting infinity, and x equals to 0 you are getting 2. So this plot will be somewhere like this, okay, and this is having minimum value at x equals to 0, that is 2. Otherwise this function is keep on increasing till infinity, okay. So by graph also you could conclude that minimum value is having this function 2. Now let us move to the next question, that is question number 77. So in the question number 77 we are given a PDF and the probability density function of a random variable x is given and the value of a shown in the figure, and we have to find out value of a. So if you see this PDF is even function, okay. So area of PDF is 1, we know area minus infinity to infinity, if we integrate on a PDF, that is it has to be 1. So 2 times we can write 0 to infinity fx equals to 1 because this is even. So from for half portion of this PDF area will be half, okay. So let us find out its area. This is going to be what, this is rectangle and this is triangle. Okay, so rectangle area is 2 times area is 2 into a plus triangle area is what, half into base is 1 into height is a and this is 1. Okay, so this is 2a plus a by 2 is 1 by 2. So this is 2 to the 4 and 5a by 2 is what, 1 by 2. Okay, so a is going to be 1 by 5. So correct option is C. Now let's go to next question. Question is 78. So for question number 78, an 8 level encoding scheme is used for number of level L, we are given 8 in a PCM system of 10 kHz channel bandwidth. So bandwidth is 10 kHz. Okay, so for PCM we know bandwidth is what, RS by 2. Okay, RS is 1 by NTB. Okay, or 1 by TS or 1 by NTB we can write, and this is 2. Okay, so this is bandwidth for PCM, right? And bandwidth we are given 10K equals to 1 by N. N is what, log 2, and in the question what we are asked, the channel capacity. Okay, so channel capacity is RB, right? RB we are asked in kbps. So 1 by log 2 8, then 1 by TB. 1 by TB is RB, or this is nothing but bit rate. So channel capacity we are asked in terms of bit rate. So RB we have to find out. So RB by log 2 8 into 2. So from this you can find out bit rate, that is RB. Log 2 8 is 3, 3 2 is 6, 6 10 is 60. So this is going to be 60 kbps. So correct option is B. So next question is question number 79. So this is directly on Maxwell equations. So for the static, electric and magnetic field, so if you know the magnet or the Maxwell equations, all 4 Maxwell equations are, so question number 79, so this was a question number, okay, so Maxwell equations are del dot D equals to rho V, okay, and del dot D equals to rho V, del cross E equals to minus del V by del T, del cross H equals to JC plus JD, JD is del D by del T, okay, and del dot B is 0. Okay, so if you see from this, for static electric field, for D dot epsilon E, so this will become 0 and this will also become 0, because electric field, static, electric and magnetic field we are finding out, and homogeneous source free, so source free, then this is also be 0. So from this you can D equals to epsilon E, so del dot E is going to be 0, yes, and del dot B is also going to be 0, and del cross E is 0, so D option will be correct. So del cross E is 0 and del dot B is 0. So from this del cross E is 0 and del dot B is 0. So correct option is D. Directly on the basis of all 4 Maxwell equations you could answer this. So our next question is rank of the matrix given below. So to find out its rank, you have to find out number of non-zero row in echelon form. Okay, so let's convert it. So question number 80. So if you see, this is R1 1 4 5 3, this is R1, this is R2. So from this you can see the dependency, R2 equals to, or this is what, 4 times R1, right? Similarly you could see that R1 plus R2 you could change. Okay, let's change R1, changing R1 plus R2, and R2 changing R2 minus 4R1, right? Let us do like this. So let us change R1. If you change R1 changing R1 plus R2, so this will become 0 0 0 0, and R2 changing R2 minus 4R1, so this is also become 0 0 0, right? And only one non-zero row will be we will left with 1 minus 4 minus 5 minus 3, right? So number of non-zero row are 1, then rank of A will be what, 1. So correct option is C. Let us go to next question, that is question number 81, and question is from digital electronics from ADC. Okay, so question number 81 is the resolution of 4-bit counting ADC. So number of bit are 4, ADC we are given, so resolution is what, 0.5 volt. An important thing is this resolution is given in terms of volt, and when resolution is in terms of volt, this is nothing what, this is step size. Okay, so from this the digital output, and we know formula, that is digital output, or for ADC, analog to digital converter. So for digital output is analog input divided by step size. Okay, analog input divided by step size, and we are given analog input is 6.6, and this is least integer function. Okay, so this is 6.6 by step size, we are given how much, 0.5. So 6.6 by 0.5, if you find out, you will get this is 13.2. okay, and 13.2 is what, least integer, it is going to be 14, and for 14 and in digital form you will write it 1110. So correct option will be D. So let us go next, let's go to next question. Question is 82. So 82 question is from signal and system from DFT. So the question is 4-point DFT, so n equals to 4, DFT is of a discrete time sequence xn. So xn we are given, xn is what, this is 1, 0, 2 and 3. Okay, so you can see from this xn is real, right? So x of n conjugate, you can write xn, right? And if you take it DFT, then what you will write, x of minus k conjugate, because you know xn DFT is x of k, and the expression of x of k is summation I equals to 0 to n minus 1 xn e to the power minus j 2 pi by n kn. Okay, so x of minus k conjugate is going to be xk, right? And we know this is periodic. Okay, so x k plus n is xn, is xk, right? Then for this you can write x of n minus k conjugate equals to xk. So this is how you can write. So with this you can easily crack with the options. So x of n minus k, so if you write it, okay, let me erase this one. So if you write x of n minus k conjugate, it means n is 4, then x of 4 minus k conjugate is going to be x of k conjugate, right? Now let's put k equals to 1, then x of 4 minus 1, 3, conjugate has to be x of 1. So this was not conjugate, this was only k. So x of 3 conjugate has to be x of 1. Let us see in which option. X of 3, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's hold it this condition, and or condition, you know that x of 0 is going to be summation of I equals to 0 to n minus 1 x of n. So add all the xn, you will get x of 0. So x of 0 is going to be, add all these. So 3, 2, 5, 0, 5 and 6. So x of 0 has to be 6, right? So this will be wrong, this will be wrong. Either C or D will be correct. Okay. Now x0 you got. Another condition, you know, x of 0 plus x of n by 2 equals to 2 times of even samples, that is this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So sum of zeros and 2, right? So sample of at n equals to 0 and at n equals to 2. So this is going to be x of 0 plus x of 2. So 2 times x of 0 is what? Here 1, and x of 2 is 2. So 2 1 3, 3 2 are 6, right? So x of 0 was 6 plus x of n by 2 means x of 2 equals to this. So 6 6 cancel out, x of 2 is what? 0. So let us see, x2 is 0 in which option? D option. So D option will be correct. So for such type of question you can crack them with the options, and with, if you know these conditions, if the signal sequence is real, then you can go with this, and you know this and this, right? You can easily crack the questions. Now let us go to next questions. Question number 83. Okay, so question number 83 is the distance between larger target and radar is reduced to half. Power received is, okay, so we know the radar concept. We have a transmitter and receiver, and we have a target. Okay, if signal goes from here, it come back. Okay, so this distance from radar to target is r. Okay, now at r distance, the power is transmitted at r distance is Pt, that is a power of this transmitter antenna, Gt gain of this antenna, Pt Gt upon 4 pi r square. Okay, so this is at r distance power density, watt per meter square, power density, and this is target. It's let us call its cross section area is sigma. So power captured by this target will be multiplied by this sigma. Okay, now this target again will be transmitting or transmitting the power at this. So again at receiver at r distance, from this again at r distance, so power will be Pt Gt sigma upon 4 pi r square. Okay, this is 4 pi r square whole square. Okay, so this is power will be here, and power, let us say this receiver is having cross section the effective aperture area sigma. So how much power is captured by this receiver, because whatever power it is transmitting in all the direction. Okay, so it depends on this receiver how much power it will be capturing. So it depends on its effective aperture area. Okay, so and power which was transmitted by this and received by this will be multiplied by this gain or G receiver, or let's call if Gr equals to Gt, then this is going to be Pt Gt square sigma effective aperture area equals to lambda square. Okay, so I am making mistakes, so Gt is not coming there. So Pt sigma and effective aperture area is Pt Gt sigma by 4 pi r square whole square, and effective aperture area is lambda square upon 4 pi Gt into polarization loss factor. So this is the effective aperture area. So at receiver, power received is this much, right? So if you see, received power is inversely proportional to r to the power 4, right? So P2 by P1 you can write r1 by r to the power 4. Now the question is, the distance between target and radar is reduced to half. Okay, so if r2 is r1 by 2, then this is going to be what? R1 by r2 is what? R1 by 2 to the power 4. So this will cancel out, 2 to the power 4 will be 16. So power will be 16 times, right? Because P2 by P1 you got how much? 16. So power will be 16 times of P1. So increased, this is not decreasing, so increased by 16 times. So correct option is D. Okay. Now let us go to next question, that is question number 84. Okay, so let us erase it. So question number 64 is the causal system given. Okay, so system we are given causal. So Hz is 6 plus Z inverse minus Z to the power minus 2. Okay, so let us multiply numerator and denominator by Z square. So it will be 6Z square plus 6 of only Z minus 1 divided by Z square. Okay, so let's make it factors. So 6Z square plus 3z minus 2z minus 1 by z square. Okay, so 3z let's take common, and then this is going to be 2z plus 1 and minus 1, 2z plus 1 by z square. Okay, so this is 3z minus 1 and then 2z plus 1, okay, by z square. So zeros you have at minus 1 by 2 or at minus 1 by 2 and then at 1 by 3, right? So 0 is at 1 by 3 and two poles are at 0. So if you observe, then all the 0 and poles are inside this unit circle. This is 1 comma 0, this is 0 minus 1 comma 0. If all the pole at 0 are inside unit circle, then system is minimum phase system. So this is for z domain, right, for z plane. But if it was s plane, we talk about all the pole and 0 has to be in left half of the s plane. So since all the pole and 0 are inside unit circle, then it has to be minimum phase system. So this is B option is correct. System is minimum phase system. Okay. So let us go to the next question, number 85. The Thevenin impedance Zn between the nodes P and Q in the circuit. So between P and Q, ZTH we have to find out. So if you see one inductor, capacitor and resistor and DC source. So since DC source are connected, then inductor will be what? At steady state. At steady state, inductor will be short circuit and capacitor will be open circuit. Okay. So let us make them short circuit. This is short and this is terminal P, this is terminal Q, and we have to find out RTH from here. So since this inductor is shorted, and for RTH independent source will also be removed, so this 10 volt will also be shorted. So only one is there, resistor, and this 10 volt voltage source is also shorted. Then this will be opened, and this entire circuit, since 1 ampere current is there, this will also be opened, and 1 ohm is connected. Okay, so this circuit is detached from this circuit. So only PQ terminal are having only 1 ohm resistor. So ZTH from PQ will be 1. So option A is correct. Now let us go to the next question, number 86. Okay, so let's erase this. Right. So if the memory chip size is 256 by 1 bit, so question number 86. So memory we are given and its size is 256 by 1 bit. It means that this memory might be, or this memory are having 256 locations, or if you see, you will write it 2 to the power 8. It means 8-bit address of each location. This each location would be having 8-bit address, and all the locations are 256, and each location are having how many bits data? 1 bit data. Okay, so each location having 1 bit data, and there are 256 locations. So this is a chip size. Okay, then a number of chips required to make up 1 KB. Okay, so we have to make a chip of 1 KB. So 1 KB means what? 2 to the power 10 into bit means 1 byte, right? So 2 to the power 10 into this is what? 8 bits. 8 bits. Okay, so number of chips required to make up. So to making this memory, how many chips we would be requiring? Okay, because one chip is having this much size, then number of chips would be 2 to the power 10 into 2 to the power 3 bits. Okay, divided by one chip size, that is what? 2 to the power 8 into 1 bit. Okay, so this is 2 to the power 10 and 3 13, and this is 2 to the power 8. 13 minus 8 is 5, so 2 to the power 5, so this is 32. So 32 such chips are required. So correct option is A. Okay, so let us go to question number 87. The common emitter model is shown below. The H parameter of this model is, we know H parameter. So H parameter we know that V1 equals to H11 I1 plus H12 V2, okay, and I2 equals to H21 I1 plus H22 V2, okay. Now let us write it. This is voltage V1, okay. Let us apply this. So H11 is V1 by I1, so it has to be resistance. So this is H11, and then this is H12 is V1 by V2. So this is what? This is voltage dependent voltage source. So plus minus H12 V2, okay. This is done. Now at output side, this is current coming because H21 is gain, because I2 is H21 I1. So H21 is going to be I2 by I1. So this current I2 would be coming from somewhere, and this is what? H21 I1, okay, and this is H22 is what? I2 by V2. This is admittance, right? So if I write down in terms of impedance or resistance, then it is going to be 1 by H22, right? So this is how it is, and this is our complete common ammeter model. Now if you compare this model with this, then we will get H11 is what? 5 plus 3 equals to 8. So let us write, by comparing H11 we got 8. Again this 1 by H22 is 1 plus 3 is 4, okay. So 1 by H22 is 4. So from this we can write H22 is 1 by 4, that is 0.25, right. And if I compare this one, then this is 0.8 I1. So this is H21 I1. So if I compare, I can write H21 also. This is 0.8, right. And if I compare this voltage dependent voltage source, this is 1. So H21 H12. So H12 has to be 1. So if I write H parameter, then H11 is 8, H12 is 1, H21 0.8, and H22 is 0.25. So correct option with this we will have is A. So A option will be correct. Let's go to our next question, that is question number 88, and this question is from analog circuit, okay. So in the following limiter circuit, this is a limiter circuit, and input voltage V1 equals to 10 sin 100 pi t we are given. So question number 88, and input is sinusoidal of this kind, like peak is 10, okay. This is 10, this is minus 10, right. So assume that diode drop is 0.7, okay. So if this voltage is being on, then voltage drop will be 0.7, and if this Zener diode is operating in breakdown, then it is having 6.8. So overall will be 6.8 plus 0.7, that is 7.5 voltage is needed to make this branch operating. It means that this diode has to be forward bias, and this Zener diode has to be in breakdown. Similarly, if this D2 has to be on, then voltage with this polarity has to be 0. Or greater than 0.7 volt. Now let us understand, if let us make all the diodes off, and no current will be coming, then voltage Vi will be coming here, right. So if Vi is greater than 7.5 volt, this is, let us say, 7.5 volt. If Vi is greater than this 7.5 volt, then what will happen? If let us say 8 volt, then this branch or this diode will be on, and this Zener diode will also be in breakdown. It means overall voltage drop here will be how much? Greater than 7.5 volt. So let us write it. If Vi is greater than 7.5 volt, then V output will be what? This will be fixed 7.5 volt, no? So V output will be 7.5 volt, because this D2 will be off. Similarly, if Vi is less than 0.7 volt, what will happen? This will be off, and this Zener diode will not be in breakdown because it is needing 7.5 volt. But what will happen if this V in is less than 0.7? This D2 will be on. If this D2 is on, then V output will be 0.7 with minus plus polarity. So V output will be minus 0.7. So otherwise what will happen? If Vi is in this range, that is greater than 0.7 but less than 7.5 volt. What will happen? This diode, this branch will also be open, this branch will also be open. So in this case, V output is going to be Vi. So maximum voltage is going to be 7.5 and the minimum voltage is going to be minus 0.7. So we were asked when it is this, then the maximum and minimum value of output voltage. So maximum is 7.5 and minimum is minus 0.7. So C option will be correct with this. Now let us go next questions. Okay, 88 is done. Now let's go to the next page. So question are from 89. So yeah, let us do question number 89. This question is from communication system. So 4 signal M1T are multiplexed by, so okay, so 4 signal M1, M2, M3 and M4. So these 4 signal are multiplexed. This question is from TDM or time division multiplexes, TDMA. Okay, so these 4 signals are what multiplexed by the time division multiplexing system. The commutator speed is, so these 4 signals will be passed through band limiter, that is a low pass filter. So after passing these 4 signals by low pass filter, then there is a commutator which will keep on rotating. Okay, so which will be sampling these signals and then passing through quantizer, then encoder, then line coder. So this is how it happens. Okay, but we are asked the speed of this commutator. Okay, so this is commutator and we have a simple formula for this speed of commutator. So speed of commutator is, if all are having different frequency, or it means, I mean that if all are having not same all the signals are not having same frequency, then we write frequency or speed of commutator is HCF of all the frequencies F1, F2, Ff. Okay, so HCF frequencies, actually these are the sample frequencies. So Fs1, Fs2, Fs3. So if nothing sampler is given, we will be sampling them at Nyquist rate. So Fs1 will be what, 2f0, because M1 is having C, this M1 is having frequency f0, this is also having f0, and M3, M2 is having f0, M1 is having f0, M4 is having how much, 4f0. Okay, so this is 2f0, 2f0, 2f0 and 8f0, and HCF is going to be 2f0. So speed of commutator will be 2f0. So on TDMA, this was the very basic question. Otherwise, some good question can also be framed on this topic. So option is A.